Right, so suppose you want to change how, one of the examples you have, for example, this example, and you'd like to change it a little bit to make it unique, your own example. Other than changing the color, you want to change something else. So if you select this one, you'll see now this is from the examples. It uses this mesh. So if you want to change this mesh, you would have to take it into Blender or something like that. I'll explain that in another tutorial about Blender and how you can use it. But for now, luckily, we have the modular examples, which you can find in this folder over here. This is called Force Badger, and this is example number 22. So if you go to example 22, it's this one. One option, you can double click over here to the modular example, just to make sure this is the modular example. And because the examples you don't have these modules, you can start changing them. But if we change them now, we will change the original prefab, which we can't do. One option is that you duplicate this example. Let's just call it my example for now, and double click it. And now any changes will only happen to this example. For instance, let's say, I don't like these two parts. I can delete them. And now I have this. I will take this one on the other side, move it like this. And I started changing it. And you can see here, for example, when everything is mirrored, you just keep the Y and Z the same, but you just flip the X-axis. And in the rotation, it's you just keep the X the same, but you flip the other angles. Let me demonstrate. For example, I'm taking this one here, and I want to mirror it. I'll just duplicate this one like this, and I'll flip the rotation, and it's now mirrored. Let me give it a different color. So let's go with gray, and let's say I want this one to have different color. You can mix colors, that's perfectly fine. And we have this one flying as well. Let me these two over here. And let's make this one bigger. And let's remove the weapon. And you can see it already looks like a different example. We did that by changing the prefab. Just to reiterate, you have two types of prefabs, the examples and modular examples. The examples have, for example, let's open this one, are made out of this mesh, while the modular examples are made out of modules. This is more clear if you just open up the scene, collection. You can see inside all the scenes that you have modular examples and you have examples, Force Badger modular examples and examples. And by the way, you can, of course, another way to change a prefab. I'm just going to do it in scene instead of having it in prefab. And let me zero this one out. Here. And I'm going to say prefab unpack. And you see now we have here this one. I can manipulate it inside the scene. Whatever. And I can now just, after I have made all of my changes inside the scene, I can drop it in here. And now it's a prefab. So if you want to make changes, you have two options. You can just open up any collection scene, grab your modular example, and unpack it, make your changes and make a prefab. or you can go to the prefabs folder, find modular examples, find whatever prefab you want to change and change. And that's how you can change your own examples. You have plenty of examples for all the spaceship sets. So if you want to make your own designs, sometimes it's just easier to find something you like and just change it. The other option, which will I explain in the next video, is just creating something from scratch. And in another video, I'll explain how to also make examples in Blender or modify them inside, a 3D application. I hope this helps. I think some of you might be, I find it hard to create your own examples. Just give it a try. Find something you like and just do some changes to it, and you'll be surprised how quickly you can make your own examples.